Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Can we start my 10 minutes again, please, Paul? Kia ora, everybody. I'm Dara. I'm in Tipiringa Faculty of Law, and I just want to say to everybody who's organised this is fantastic. And I might be an outlier, so I'm glad I'm across the ditch, hiding in the Waikato. Because some of the things I've found today have been incredibly interesting. So the law degree. I'm a law academic, as well as most of you all are. It's really fast-paced, it's dense, it's high pressure, it's really competitive, and it's a heavy workload. And so I think I too teach mainly in commercial law, public law, Indigenous work, that the students are almost compelled to use AI, especially now it's on the market. Interesting that I found that Nicole found that the ones that are at the end of their degrees are not as likely to use AI. That's not been my experience. And in fact, this was a submission into an assignment in commercial law. The lone possibility of the relationship between respiratory failure and neuroinvasion of SARS-CoV-2 had nothing to do with commercial law. And I would offer you that we as law schools are pivoting. We are embracing online learning programs, and the research is showing actually the mode of delivery for the most part doesn't make any difference to how the students are learning. And here in the Tipiringa, we have moot courts and mediations. It's all done virtually, guys. And our students are actually, we have them in Queensland, we have them in Denmark, we have them across the globe. And I think getting access to law academics is the key. And as long as the legal degree is accredited, that's the most important thing. So in a way, the fact that we have been pushed to go online has in some way here, especially here, because we do a lot of our courses are hybrid, has pushed the students in a very insular way towards AI. And lawyers here in New Zealand are pivoting. In fact, apps and IT is not new in New Zealand, and I'm pretty sure it's not new in Australia either. Practitioners are using it. They're using technology. Now, technology may not be considered generative AI. They're using technology. My daughter is a practitioner. She uses it all the time. Interesting factoid, though, we had a judge in this week, and I asked him how he felt about his clerks using AI, and he said absolutely not. They are not allowed to use AI, absolutely not. Having said that, technology is definitely being used in New Zealand. Instead of bringing the prisoners into court, they're just doing it by, it's not Zoom though here. We've got some other thing that we use that's supposed to be more secure. Not saying it is, but interesting that during admissions, we could see who was in prison. And also our lawyers here on this side of the ditch, as well as on your side, because we had a presentation from a law firm over in Sydney last week, and they are using apps, and the apps are pretty fab, because if you come from a cultural background like myself, Māori, Macedonian, my father didn't speak English, the fact that these apps come in different languages is an absolute plus. So lawyers are learning to use them, and I think that's a jolly good thing. But I think the real problem is, you know, you can go to ChatGPT and it will say, hey, can you show me how to pass my law degree? And in fact, somebody has actually done this. You know, quite rightly, quite a few of the presenters have pointed out that it was launched in November 2022. We are all talking about it, right? It hasn't even been here. It's not even had its 5th birthday. And we are all very, very concerned about it because it's a global phenomena. And when I looked at the university, so I did yes, I know, surprise here, I did a master's in beekeeping through Cornell University, completely online. And kind of interesting that they have technology that when you set your exam online, it is an open book, but you can't use the internet. and they've got technology that is, the moment you try to use the internet, it disconnects you completely. So we don't have that here at Waikato. I'd be interested to hear if some of you have it. Worse than that, at Cornell University, they chucked an assessment in, and ChatGPT got a B. And then this professor in public law said it won't be long before it becomes an A paper. But I think we're all struggling with the fact that the students are not really engaging in the law. Now, I've seen you all, I've seen quite a few presentations today where the design of the assessments is that you are asking the students to put it into AI, and then you're getting them to assess the AI. And I'm not sure if I've got time to do that in my class. I really love the idea of it. I love the idea. I wondered what level, Jackie, your class was at, because, man, that sounds so fab. But I've watched a few of them today, a few presentations, and they're all really fab, but where do you get the time to do that? I mean, my workload is huge. We actually have year-long courses are now semesterized. So we have to fit a lot in, and I'm really concerned that they're not getting the work that they are, or the skill set that they need. But having said that, I think it's impossible to try and prevent students from using it. And we have an issue around international students, and I feel your pain across the ditch, where you are not going to have as many international students, but we've already got a wave of international students. And I found in my master's classes that these are the students that are more likely to use AI. And it is a problem. So after watching a few presentations, I'm wondering whether I should be integrating some sort of AI assessment. And, you know, I watched the LexisNexis, they've rolled it out in Australia. They're rolling it out here. It's great for legal drafting. I'm not keen on the case summaries, but the lady selling a product will tell you it is. So where you get legal drafting, I think it's great. It's not that great for the sort of research I do. So I was really interested to hear you guys say that it's really good for research. It's terrible at the research that we do. And I do a lot of Indigenous research, and it does a terrible job. But that's my point. I feel like AI, if it's mainstream, I don't think it's the key action plan that everybody is selling it as. And, you know, I'm old enough to remember when they bought an accounting software and they said, oh, you know, there'll be no accountants. But actually, accounting software and calculators, they may have made the job a little bit easier, but they didn't replace accountants. And I think that's what we are seeing with AI and law. I think our students definitely have to become more tech savvy, but I think the deep dives into what AI is written to assess whether it's done a good job or not is a lot of work, especially because law is constantly changing. So does it replace traditional research? I'm not sure that it does. And there's a high risk of using AI because it's still not in New Zealand anyway. It's still, you can't use it for submissions. I've asked quite a few solicitors in the last few weeks, would they use AI? And they looked horrified, like that's some sort of plagiarism and cheating. So I have done the same thing that quite a few of you have done, which is running assessments through generative AI. And I have actually found the same thing in that it's coming up with the same sort of answers. So I agreed with quite a few presenters today where you get same, and then boom, you get this amazing assessment because someone's actually gone out and done traditional research. And, you know, you're hard pressed to not give them 100% because you're so excited, knowing full well that it's possibly not. But we have been getting the students to do very similarly to what you guys have been doing. I really feel, though, that AI probably has no place in submissions at the moment. And that's because there's a real risk. It's telling me to stop. There's a real risk that it will undermine the integrity of our legal system. And undermines the public trust in our legal profession, especially the moment that clients get harmed. And I find it kind of interesting that here in New Zealand, we're seeing an increase of clients using generative AI to represent themselves in court. And that's a real, I think it's a real point of concern. Having said that, I think we do need to, as law academics, be more aware of how it's been used. I think I listened to the ethics lady in the last round. I think it's a perfect place for it to be used there. But I think we're all dreaming if we think the students are not using it. I'm not sure how it should be rolled out in third, fourth, and master's level. And that's why, I'm really keen to learn what you guys think, because I don't think banning AI in law school is going to work. And I do like I've learnt quite a bit on how you guys are showing your students how to use it. And they do have to have proficient skills in AI, but exactly where, I don't think we've actually settled on that. And I don't believe that AI will replace those key legal skill sets that they need to go out and practice with. Because I've had students who have used AI and they haven't understood what it's generated and they've submitted it anyway. Anyway, my final point is, how do you detect it, team? How do you detect when AI is being used? The software at the moment is not great, and I give students who've used AI 0. And then they have the opportunity to come back and say, well, no, I didn't use it, or no, you've been wrong. I'll be very keen to hear from you guys how it's used. So, and it's really cold over here, just an added thing. That's Cascade Saddle, and it was -10 yesterday. So I'll stop sharing.